Alright, hi guys. So I recently posted a video, a couple of them actually, about my 3-year dreadlock anniversary. Excuse my bangs. The water hit them in the shower a little more than I had hoped. I think these are dry, hopefully. Anyway, so on those videos, as expected, I was getting a lot of racists and trolls who like to spread misinformation about dreadlocks. Here they are. And I was mostly ignoring them, but there are a few that I do want to clear up for like the educational purposes and all that. So one of the myths about dreadlocks, particularly on white people, is that they are dirty. No, we wash our hair typically once a week and deep clean them once a month. I have a deep cleaning video somewhere on my page. So they are very, very clean. To anyone who goes, ew, you only wash your hair once a week? Yeah, I do, because if these get too wet, they cannot dry all the way through and they will grow mold inside. So you do not want to wash them or wet them, really, more than like once a week or so. When I initially started forming them, I was running on some outdated information from like the 90s where people would wash once a month. But now I do wash once a week with a specific shampoo made for dreadlocks. And the deep cleaning powder I use is also specifically for dreadlocks. Oh, I'm not a loctician or anything like that. I just sharing info I've learned while having locks and researching about locks and all that. Another misconception is they originated in black cultures. They did not. The earliest, I mean, they could have if they didn't find evidence yet, but the earliest archaeological evidence, sorry about the camera shaking. I'm just holding it. The earliest archaeological evidence, to my knowledge, of dreadlocks is from Eurasia, India specifically, and Egypt in Africa, which is a Mediterranean nation. So yeah, not saying you can't wear them or they aren't part of black culture at all. They are, but when racists say they're just for them, they're not even originally, as far as we archaeologically are aware, they didn't originate there. And actually, in terms of braids, I hear that's also African or Viking. It's not. There's archaeological evidence of braids going as far back as Neanderthals, which is a completely different species of human altogether. So let's drop it with that too. Side note. Let's see. So mine are a neglect method, and that means you just stop combing and conditioning your hair, and the locks form naturally on their own over time. Mine took about a year to form, and now we're at 3 years, so they're like matured and stuff. I have some more that I'm gonna start forming over there because I want to go from just the top to a mohawk. Let's see here. Yeah, it does not mean you stop washing your hair, however, the neglect method. Some people I've heard do. I think that's gross personally, and I don't know how they'd lock up. Like, that's why my bangs won't lock, because they're oily all the time from, like, my face, because usually they naturally kind of sit like that, and I naturally do that a lot. So, like, they actually aren't really locking up because of that. But the rest of them, where there's, you know, you wash them, get the oils out, they'll lock up. Because, again, it's too slick. Like, it's too slippery if there's oils. So, yeah. Let's see. A lot of people say they're mats, not locks. Mats and locks are the same thing. Knots as well. They are all synonyms. So call them what you want. They're all the same thing. It doesn't really matter what skin color the person has. Mats, locks, and knots are the same thing, as are so dreadlocks, fairy locks, and elf locks. That's another thing. They're not part of your culture. Well, yes, they are. I am Germanic and Celtic. People used to braid their hair to avoid the fairies or the elves coming in the night and locking your hair. So that's how they are actually part of Germanic and Celtic cultures. I'd imagine Slavs has something similar because all hair types lock. Literally all hair types lock. It just a time frame of how quickly or slowly they do that changes based on your hair texture. So I have naturally curly hair, so mine locked fairly quickly. I think I got my first lock within 3 months of stopping with the combing and conditioning of my hair. Some people may take as long as a year. Some people may be faster. You know, it just depends on your hair texture for that. But all hair types will lock. Eventually. All of them. Like I said, just speed is based on the texture / type. Let's see. What else do I usually get? Oh yeah. A lot of people think you have to shave your head to remove your locks. From what I've seen online, you do not. You can comb them out. It just is quite a process. I've seen some people do it over like 2 weeks or so, and like it can pull a lot. So I've shaved my head before, so personally, if I ever want these gone, I am just going to shave them. That's just easier for me. That's the path I want, but you can brush them out. People also say you lose a lot of hair when you do this. I've heard it for braids too. You don't. Your hair naturally sheds, and braids and locks catch those shed hairs. So what you're pulling out are hairs that have already shedded off your scalp. Like they've already naturally done that. So yeah, you shouldn't actually be losing any hair. If you are, you might just be tugging too hard or something. It got cut off there for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't remember hitting the button or anything. But yeah, you might be just tugging too hard if you're losing hairs or something like that, because you shouldn't be losing hairs. It's just your naturally shed hairs that come out. Ugh, like these freaking cat hairs. Keep that in mind if you get dreadlocks. Alright, I'll pick those out later. I don't remember what else I had to say in there. I think it was something along the lines of how some people say that they are not desired for Germanic cultures anymore, and Celtic cultures, or like they aren't because they tried to prevent them. It's 2025, styles change, and you don't see glibs or glebs, I don't remember what they're called, but it's basically a Celtic style that you only have bangs and the rest is completely shaved bald. You know, things like that. So styles change and grow, and that's fine. I said something about twists as well, that for dreads, people say that's only afro hairstyles. I don't know, because I do know that other hairstyles can do braiding twists, which are called like rope braids or two-strand braids. I'm guessing maybe they just don't lock in that way on other hair types. I don't really know. Yeah, I can't remember everything else I had to say, but I know that was some of the important stuff I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, and some people say I must smell. I don't. I clean myself. I guess maybe if you don't like the natural scents that are in most dreadlock products, it's like tea tree oil, lavender. I think I have some rose in one of mine, which I think is what my locks smell like right now, last I checked. I love it. So, yep. If you don't like those, then maybe I do smell, but it's clean. Yeah. Alright, if I think of anything else, I'll just post another video.